In the last days and hours, a terrorist commando composed of young women who are totally receptive to the ISIL ideology has been dismantled. For them to go into action guided by individuals in Syria in ISIL's organization shows that this organization intends to use women as combatants. These women had been limited to housekeeping activities, so to speak, in the past. Now they've gone much further. The terrorist organization is using men, but also women, young women, who are learning about their projects on the internet. What was their intention? The intention of this commando was to commit a terrorist attack. The discovery in the trunk of the vehicle involved 3 gas canisters, 3 bottles of diesel fuel, and a cigarette very close to a blanket that had oil on it in the trunk of the car. And this was discovered last Saturday night, the night between Saturday and Sunday, in the 5th district of Paris, right in the center of Paris. And therefore, the terrorist and penal section launched an investigation. The investigation was carried out jointly with the anti-terrorist section in Paris, the domestic security division, as well as the anti-terrorist authorities in the judiciary police. Indeed, there was no detonator discovered in the vehicle. However, based on the initial conclusions made by the forensic laboratories, if the vehicle had caught fire, in a few minutes only, it would have led to the explosion of at least 1 or several canisters of gas, which would have led to the destruction of the entire vehicle. Let me give you some additional information about the investigation. At 3:33, a Peugeot 607 without any registration plates in the front or in the back was discovered parked in a small street in the 5th district of Paris. The insurance certificate, as well as the police investigations carried out by the investigators, made it possible to further the investigation, and it was discovered that the vehicle belonged to a man who was the father of 5 daughters. One of the girls, Inès M., born on March of 1977, who was known because she was on the high-security S-file database. It was known that she intended to go to Syria. Indeed, Ornella G., her fingerprints were discovered. She was also known for intending to go to Syria. Her genetic prints were found on the seatbelt and on the front door. A number of individuals have been arrested. 2 are still being held, in particular Ornella G., who will be arraigned tomorrow in order to open an investigation and in order for her to be presented before the anti-terrorist judge. I cannot inform you now of the statement to be made by this individual because the initial investigation is closely related to the arrest made yesterday, early evening, in the town of Boussy-Saint-Antoine, south of Paris, in the department of Essonne. Let me tell you about the procedure. Yesterday, the court has opened an initial investigation for criminal charges. Therefore, using the information received from the security authorities, because it was believed that a terrorist attack was imminent. The investigative authorities, and let me say that they have worked with great effectiveness. They were able to identify and localize very quickly several individuals involved in this joint project. The investigations carried out, in particular, following work done using geolocalization and the use of cell phone tracing, we discovered a person called Amel S., who lives in Boussy-Saint-Antoine, in the department of Essonne. The police, when they arrived at the place of domicile, discovered that 3 young girls lived there, Amel S. and Sarah H., who was wearing a full veil, as well as Ines M., who did not wear a veil, but she had a helmet on. They were walking toward the parking lot where Amel S.'s vehicle was parked, walking around at a given point. Amel S. and Ines M. were standing near a vehicle while Sarah H. ran toward the unmarked vehicle, the unmarked police vehicle, where a policeman was inside, and she attacked him with a knife in the left shoulder. The knife had a blade of about 20 centimeters. And then she ran away with her 2 accomplices. Ines M. also attacked the policeman with a knife, used his weapon, and injured her in the thigh and the ankle. The 3 individuals were arrested and immediately detained at 7:15 in the evening for terrorist attacks, attempted terrorist attack, and attacking police authorities in connection with a terrorist attack. Let me tell you a little bit about these 3 individuals. Amel S. was born in Clichy in 1977. Sarah H. was born in 1993 in Lisieux. She is known to the specialized authorities as being involved in the jihadist movement. She was to marry individuals who were involved in the recent attacks in France. Yesterday, in Les Mureaux, Mohamed Amina A., who was born in 1993 and known to the authorities as being radicalized, and was also the brother of a person who has been investigated and is now in prison, involved in the Magnanville attack. And this individual was married religiously to Sarah H. The 3rd individual, a minor, born in the year 2000, is also suspected of being involved in a terrorist attack. 3 knives were seized in Boussy-Saint-Antoine when the women were arrested. Ines M. had the keys of the Peugeot 607 that was used for the attempted explosion in Paris, discovered September 4th, and in her handbag they found a handwritten document where she pledges allegiance to the Islamic State, to ISIL, and she states that in response to the call made by al-Adnani, I will continue terrorizing you. The investigations also led to discovering in Amel S.'s domicile something that looked like makeshift detonators, and also 2 5-liter jerry cans that had diesel fuel inside. There was also a will in her name, and in Ines M.'s house, there was a computer used by the young girl that included many images of ISIL propaganda. Therefore, we're still in the initial phases of the investigation. It will be continued. All of the police authorities and all of the anti-terrorist authorities remain totally mobilized given the threat. And I would like to say this extremely vigorously. We will keep you informed of how the investigation goes on, in particular when the suspects are taken before the court. Thank you very much. When they're taken before the court for arraignment. Thank you very much.